Buongiorno. That's Italian for hi everyone. Konnimin. Hellumin everyone. How about you? Oh, I got some stories. I now have a new story, as you guys, for those of you that follow my Twitter, you probably saw last night I posted that my original song got copyright ID'd. And it wasn't even to me. I was like, what? So we'll talk about that too. It's just funny at this point. Oh, Cypher, thank you. Honestly, like, you know, the entire time all of this stuff was going down, I was like, I'm gonna have a great stream to talk about it. So, like, I feel like that's the silver lining, right? Is like, even if, like, really bad stuff happens, I can be like, that's okay, it'll make super great fodder for my streams. Hola, señora. How are... Oh, wait, you're señor. Hola, señor. How are you? Buongiorno. Okay, so what do we want to start with? Do we want to start with my YouTube saga, or do we want to start with Italy? Cause, oh boy. Also, just to let you guys know, I'm feeling a little bit feverish today, so I'm gonna try and keep this stream a little bit short so I can take a little nap because I got a meeting tonight. I took my temperature and it was kinda high, so I don't wanna mess around with that. So it could just be exhaustion. So I'm just gonna keep an eye on it because I got work tomorrow and Friday that I can't really get out of. So as long as it doesn't get worse, I'm probably fine. So. I was in the land of pasta and I had absolutely zero pasta. That's actually part of the story, is how I did not really have any Italian food in Italy. Okay. I'm gonna try really hard not to get sick because I don't have time for that. Because, like, let's be real. Tomorrow I have my regular, which, by the way, remember I was really stressed out, like, last week and the week before because I wasn't sure if my regular would continue into next year? It did! I'm set for another year! Woo, woo! Not worried about my visa for another year. Woo, woo, woo. Yay, win. So let's start off with a win. I just heard literally like 40 minutes ago, my manager texted me like, you got the contract. And I was like, yes. So, starting off with good news. I have the contract for next year, which means I am set in my work visa for another year. I can live in Japan. Not as worryfully. Thank you for the tea, Stella. Stella is wonderful and made me this, like, epic Sri Lankan tea that, like, burns away any viruses. So, hopefully that'll do the trick. Thank you. I forgot to feed my plants today. Oh, well, I'll do that later. Anyway, yeah, good news means there's bad news. I really hope all of this, though, was not just this contract, because I'm like, I don't know if it weighs out. Okay, so we're gonna start with Italy. So, to give some context, and also to preface this, I would like to say this was the most beautiful and perfect wedding I've ever seen in my life, okay? I had a lot of fun at the wedding. Everyone was lovely. The groom and the other groom were like the best people, and they looked amazing, and they had a great day. As far as they know, everything went great. And that's all that matters, is that the people getting married had a good time. And I had a good time at the wedding itself. The wedding itself was magical. But it almost didn't happen 25 million times. And I just didn't tell my friend, the groom that invited me. I just didn't tell them because I didn't want to stress them out that I almost missed their wedding 25 million times. Okay. Long-time friends, I met them in Japan. So, yeah, I guess we'll go through that. So, I met one of the grooms in Japan, maybe 8-9 years ago. They were studying, and we were both part of the online, like, Vocaloid and anime cover song community. But I had actually never met them online. But through one of my friends that lived in Japan at the time who did work with them online, we ended up meeting up here in Japan, and we hung out a bunch while they were still in Japan. I think a year or two later, they moved back to where they're from, and we still kept in touch over, like, Line and Discord and stuff like that. You know, not super frequently, like, they're busy, I'm busy, but, you know, I have always wished them the most wonderful and happiest of life, and they wish the same for me. So, we get along well. We also have another friend who I am incredibly close friends with, and who they are incredibly close friends with. And that person also helped keep us connected because, they're one of my best friends, and they're one of his best friends. So, literally one of our best friends is the same. So we end up, hearing about each other quite frequently. And that person was also at the wedding. That's the person that I was rooming with at the wedding. And I had two more people that I knew at the wedding, but one of them I had only met once at a party fairly recently. It was that birthday party, actually. It was the birthday party I went to where nobody danced. So they were there. And then their plus one is somebody that knew of me and I knew of them, but we did not know each other. So it was lovely to meet them. So basically, there was a table of nerds. There was one table of nerds. And we all knew of each other, but some of us didn't really know each other. But I knew the one person really well. We roomed together, and then I had met somebody that they consider one of their best friends who had their own room. And I was very happy to become even better friends with them. And then the person I met recently, I also feel like I became better friends. And then the person that I hadn't met but I admire, I also became better friends with. So that's great. Anyway, so going back a bit, friendship is good. Oh, I didn't catch the flowers, no. So, when the groom threw the flowers, my friend that I met recently at the party caught them. And she gave me a flower for my hair. She was giving all the cute girls in the rooms flowers from the bouquet. So it's like everybody caught the bouquet. She's so nice. So I ended up with a flower in my hair. And that was really nice. I had a lot of fun. The bouquet wasn't thrown until midnight, but the wedding itself was great, okay? Let me preface, wedding itself was perfect. As far as the grooms know, it was perfect. Now, let's go back a couple years. So, the groom got engaged 2 years ago and messaged me yo, you gotta come to my wedding. And I was like, when? And they were like, mid-September 2024. And keep in mind, it's May 2022 right now. So I was like, all right, sure. And they're like, you have to not cancel once you say yes. And I was like, I'm sure I can work it out. That's literally 2.5 years from now. I'll figure it out. And they were like, yeah, it means so much to me, thanks. And I was like, I got you, boo. I got you. If you want me at your wedding, I'll be there. And then a year and a half later, it's now November 2023. And groom is like, hey, can you send me your flight reservation? So that I know when you're coming in, because this wedding is happening on a private island. A what? This wedding is happening on a private island. I'm sorry, it's so ridiculous to say. And I was like, what? I knew it was in Italy, but what? They're like, it's happening on a private island in Venice. And I was like, okay. Rich people. I was like, oh, I forgot you were ridiculously rich. And I was like, okay, sure. And he was like, I got the hotel for you, and you'll have transportation from the airport to the island, don't worry. And I was like, okay. And he's like, but I need to know when you're coming in so that I can get a boat. And I was like, a boat? And I was like, oh, okay, but it's November. And the thing is, as you guys know from my other previous streams, I don't have a credit card. Being a foreign entertainer in Japan means that I do not qualify for a credit card. I literally can't get one. I have applied. They say no every time. I cannot get a credit card, meaning it's really difficult for me to reserve flights. Normally, I only really fly if a client buys my ticket. And I was like, well, the only way that I can reserve a ticket is to get Stella to buy the ticket on her credit card, because she doesn't work in a ridiculous industry. She works in a real job. So I can get Stella to buy it on her credit card, and then I pay her back, which is how we've done everything up until now. But it's November, and Stella's dad's birthday is at the beginning of December, and then it's Christmas, and her card has a $2,000 limit. So and by the way, the flights to Venice cost about $2,000 from Japan. It's so expensive. And I was like, ooh. So Stella's like, I can't put it on my card until next year. And I was like, fair, it's your card. Okay. So I let the groom know. I'm like, hey, I can't buy the ticket until like January or February. And he's like, don't worry, I'll get you back in January or February, but we'll need to know like 6 months in advance because the boats are chartered. The boats are chartered and I need to know like 6 months in advance. And I'm like, okay. And so then it's like February and finally Stella has, it's January, and I was like, can we buy the ticket now? And Stella's like, no, because one of her friends is getting married in May, which is before September. And she's like, I gotta buy the plane tickets to the UK in January, so let's do it in February. And I'm like, okay, I'll let him know. So I let him know, and he's like, all right, that's cutting it close, though. And I'm like, don't worry, I'll get it in February. So come February, I'm booking the ticket with Stella. It's Stella's credit card. She's right next to me. We're both going over all the information. It's really hard to get a flight from Japan to Venice. It's not a big airport, and there are no direct flights, of course. But like even like connecting flights, the options are Doha, Dubai, or Paris, basically. But Paris is like farther away than Italy, so I was like, that's stupid. The only other option was like UK Venice, again farther away. Like it was like 35 hours of flying, and I was like, no. So I went with the Dubai option, which at least stops in the middle, in between, and I was like, okay, we'll do this. But the problem is, the groom let me know that he wanted me to come in on Friday, which is the day of the reception dinner, and then the wedding is Saturday, so he wanted me to fly and time my flight to come in Friday morning so that I could shower and attend the reception dinner 6 p.m. Friday night, the wedding on Saturday, and then I would leave on Sunday. So like that's like a day and a half in Venice, which is fine. And I was like, okay, let me look it up. There are no flights from Japan to Venice that come in before 3 p.m. And so I was like, hey, friend, the earliest flight comes in at 3:30, and it's gonna take me like 50 minutes to get through customs, and then it's an hour from Venice airport to this private island on this chartered boat, and none of the boats would pick up anyone after 3:30. That's the last boat. And so he was like, you have to come in the day earlier then. And I'm like, and do what? And he's like, just get a hotel near the airport. And I was like, just get ouch, my wallet. And I was like, okay. So I talked to my friend who was coming from another country. And she was like, oh yeah, me and my other friend are also can't come in because only flights from Europe come in the morning in Venice. All of the international flights come in the afternoon. So she's like, we also have to come in later. So my friend and I are going to be staying at a hotel like 30 minutes away from the airport. So like just like join us. And I'm like, okay. So they had to reserve for me because I cleaned out Stella's card getting these flights. And Stella and I were really careful. We're like, okay, I come in on Thursday at 3:30 p.m. And then I stay Thursday night at this hotel. And then we go back to the airport on Friday to be picked up by the boat. And then we go to the island. That's the plan. So I figure we're good. A little painful, but good. I got the flight, I got the hotel, I'm ready. Come the day I am supposed to leave, I check my flight. My flight's left. I was like, what? What do you mean it's left? So it's the 11th. It takes a day and a half to get from Japan to Venice. It's like 38 hours in transit. It takes forever. And it's the 11th. If I leave the 11th at 10 p.m. or whatever, I should be getting in at 3:30 on the 12th, which is Thursday. That was the plan. For some reason, my flight left midnight the day before. And it was gonna come in Wednesday. And then I was like, nuh-uh. Both Stella and I booked this flight. There's no way both of us are stupid, and we were so careful. Like, we hemmed and hawed about this for days, literally days. So what I think happened is I selected the day that I wanted to arrive, and it switched on me right as I was booking it, I think. And I didn't notice because I had written it down in my schedule when it was supposed to leave, and it was supposed to be midnight on the 11th. And come noon on the 11th, I realized that my flight left 12 hours ago. Cause I was like sitting there, I'm like, I'm all showered, I'm all packed, let's go. Like I'm just gonna get like lunch and then I'm gonna go. And then I look at my phone and my phone's all like, it left. And I was like, so I now have 10 hours until I absolutely need to leave to Venice if I want to make it to the wedding on time. So I was like, oh no. So I panicked. And so Stella and I look online. We're like, oh gosh, oh gosh, oh gosh. I'm like crying. I'm like sobbing. I'm like, oh my God. And oh, by the way, my friend that is also going, she ended up getting like a really bad stomach bug the night before she was supposed to take off. And she had to go to the hospital. So she thought she might not be able to go. And I was like, girl, if you're not going to go, I at this point in time, like I have to buy a whole new flight. I don't think I can. And she was like, I think I can actually go. And I was like, okay, then I'll make my best effort. Because I was supposed to do her makeup, right? So I was like, okay, I'll go. So I bought a new one-way ticket. Because I was like, I'll catch up with my return flight. Because I didn't miss that. So I'll catch up with my return flight. I'll just buy a new ticket. So my first ticket was Emirates. My second ticket was Qatar Airways, and it was one way. So it leaves a little bit earlier, so I don't really have time to really like take my time getting ready, like re-shower after all that cold sweat, so I'm stonky. And so I run to the airport. I'm like, huffa, 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 huffa. I run to the airport and I check in at the counter, but even though I get there really early, the line is crazy long and it's like stressing me out. But I get to the counter and I'm like, hey, here's my passport. And they're like, where's your return flight? And I'm like, oh, well, my return flight's on a different airline because I missed my first flight. And they're like, okay. And I showed them the booking and they're like, all right. And so I was like, okay, good. Okay, I've caught up. We're good. It's not a problem. Whew. So this flight would get me in at 4 p.m. on Thursday, which is a half hour later than I was originally supposed to come in, but not a problem, right? And my friend and the other friend were gonna pick me up at the airport. Not a problem. I got this. We're good. And I get on the first flight. Vroom, vroom. Okay? So then I touch down in Doha. Very pretty airport. It's got a literal rainforest inside. That was cool. Can't be sustainable environmentally, but whatever. And then I get a message from my friend being like, there's a massive storm in northern Italy, so a lot of the flights are delayed. And I'm like, there's what? There's a what? And so I look at my flight, which, by the way, my flight got in Doha time, 2 a.m. And my flight was supposed to leave at 5 a.m. No, 6 a.m. Sorry, 6 a.m. But they weren't updating the gate until 5 a.m. So I'm trying really hard to fight sleep. I'm like, I can't sleep, but nothing's open. So I just like find like a rock in the rainforest. Literally, I find a little rock in the rainforest. I set an alarm on my phone for 4:30 a.m. and I sleep on a rock. That's right, I'm roughing it at the airport. I sleep on a rock because I'm so tired. And I had already been up a whole day in Japan. Like I woke up at 8 a.m. My flight took off at like 10 p.m. And it's currently 2 a.m. in Doha, which is actually like 7 a.m. in Japan. So I've been up nearly 24 hours and I was like, I'm going to take a little nappy poo. And I sleep on a rock. I'm roughing it at Doha airport. And I wake up at 4:30. And I grab a bite to eat. I have a really yummy hot chocolate that cost way too much, but whatever, it was delicious. And because all the Middle Eastern airports cost a lot. And I was like, it's cool, I'm good. And then at 5 a.m., I look at the screen. And it's like, your flight's 6 hours delayed. And I'm like, my flight's what? None of the other flights are delayed, just mine. And I was like, but the flight to Vienna's on time. The flight to Rome's on time. Why is the flight to Venice not on time? I could literally fly to Vienna and take a bus and it would be faster. Okay, so I go to the Emirates counter because I'm flying Emirates. Or not Emirates, Qatar. I go to the Qatar counter and I'm like, hi, so I noticed my flight's like 6 hours delayed. Is there a reason for that? Because my whole flight's only supposed to be 5 hours. So that's longer than the flight. And they were like, oh, there's been technical trouble. And I was like, oh, it's a little bit of an issue though because I'm gonna be getting in really late. And I've got a wedding the next day that I need to go to. Like this is a little, komarimasu. It's a little bit of a problem. And they were like, oh, and I was like, is there any kind of like, rebate sort of option? Because like in at least the European Union, if your flight is delayed for stupid reasons or inconveniencing you whatsoever, you're entitled to like something like credit or something. And he's like, we don't do that. And I'm like, oh, okay. And he's like, yeah, maybe like, other airlines would, but like we're a luxury airline, so we don't really offer that. And I'm like, weird, okay. Remember that line, because that is a line that will be used again. We're a luxury airline, so we don't do that. Just remember that line. Okay. So, so my flight's 6 hours delayed, and I'm like, what do I do for 6 hours? I guess I'll go back to my rock. So I go back to my rock, and I set another alarm for 6 hours later, and I sleep on my, I don't really sleep, but I doze on my rock and like people watch, and it's a nice airport. So yeah, then I get on the next flight, and then I get in. And Venice Airport has really, really bad Wi-Fi. So I get in and I text my friend like, I'm here. And my friend's all like, otsukare. And then I'm like, how do I get to the hotel? And they're like, you can walk. It's like 35 minutes. And I'm like, I don't think I can actually. Normally I'd be like, okay, but I don't think I can anymore. I'm like, I've been up for like a solid 45 hours at this point. So like, no. And they were like, okay, we'll pick you up. And I'm like, oh, I love you. So they picked me up in like an Uber. And, like, I've got all, like, my passport and stuff, and so I'm, like, like, kind of sort of shifting things around in my bag so that everything fits, because it's really cold in Venice. I was, like, I came from 35-degree weather here in Japan to literally 13 degrees in Venice, so I'm, like, shiver. And so I'm looking for my sweater in my bag, and I kind of put my passport and everything in, like, the little pouch in front of me in the Uber. Can you guys guess what happens next? Can you guys, guess what happens next? I forgot it. I forgot that I put my thing in the... So yeah, so I lost my residence card for Japan, my passport, and I'm like, I'm trying to check into the hotel, and they're like, can I have your passport? And I was like, and my friend is all like, what happened? And I'm like, I left it in the Uber. And they were like, and I was like, and so we do call the Uber car, because luckily it was on the phone, my friend's phone, and my friend who speaks European languages was like, yo, my dum-dum friend left their passport in your car, can you come back? And thank you, friend. So we did get it back in about 30 minutes, but it was terrifying. Because, like, you hear horror stories about losing your passport, and, like, it was all of my ID. I had no ID on me. Oh, I was too eepy. And so now, yeah, it's like 8 o'clock at night, or 9 or something. I don't even know anymore. It's really late, and I'm so tired, but I also haven't really eaten in a while. And I'm in Italy, so I'm like, I want Italian food. And they were like, okay, there's a restaurant across the street. So the three of us go to this restaurant across the street. And by the hotel's fine. It's a fine hotel. It's really cute. It looks like a little house. We go. I think a lasagna. I don't really remember. I have zero memories of this meal. I get a lasagna. My other friend gets a lasagna. And then my friend who had an ouchie tummy got soup. And so then we go to sleep. Right? We go to sleep. My friend, apparently, the one with the soup, her tummy hurt all night, and she didn't get any sleep. So now it's like 10 a.m. the next morning, and I'm very hungry again. And I was like, are we going to breakfast? Like, we gotta check out soon. And my friend's like, I did not sleep. And I was like, oh no. So my friend is dying, and then I'm really hungry. So we go to, there's no restaurants open. None of them open before noon. So we're like, but we have to get out of this hotel, and we have nowhere to go until 3:30 because the boat to the secret island is picking us up at the airport at 3:30. So we don't have anything to do for like 5 hours. So we go to a different hotel, like a Marriott or something that's like up the street. And And they have like a lounge area, so we sit there kind of pretending that we went to that hotel. And then we get some tea and coffee and stuff. And at lunchtime they open. I get a caprese salad because I need vegetables. And like the mozzarella is really big. That was good. And my friend got something with meat, with a meat, side of meat. The friend with the upset stomach got meat with meat. And then the other friend also got meat. And I was like, what are you doing in Italy? You just getting whatever. But it's cool, because I'm like, we're going to have a really big dinner, so I'm just going to keep it light with a salad. I was wrong. Anyway, so then it's 2, and I'm like, hey, let's go to the airport a bit early. I like to be early. And my friends are like, great. So we go to the airport, and we look, and our pickup's supposed to be outside of Arrivals, but Arrivals is the whole bottom floor of the airport. So I'm like, what is outside Arrivals? Is it outside one of the three, count it, 1, 2, 3, 3 gates? Is it outside on the street? Where is it? I don't know. And so I was like, and we don't see anybody with a sign that's like, blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah's wedding. We don't see anything. We don't know what company this boat, like literally all we had was a Discord message being like, your boat pickup is 3:30 outside Arrivals at the airport. And we're like, huh. So we walk around for literally an hour looking for anyone with a sign. Nope. We go upstairs, we go downstairs, we go outside, we ask people like hotel staff, or not hotel, airport staff, and they're like, well, I don't know. And so come 3:30, so the other thing is like our other 2 friends that came from like a different location called us like, hey, we missed our boat pickup. Can we use yours? And I was like, wait, you missed your boat pickup? And they're like, yeah, like we had to bus somewhere and the bus was late, so we missed the boat pickup. Doshio. And I was like, I don't know. Like, I'm not in charge of boat pickup. I don't know if you can join our boat. Can you get back to the airport? And they're like, we literally can't afford it because it was like 100 euros or something. And I was like, ooh. So then we try and call the groom. We had been trying not to bother the groom because, like, you know, he's busy. It's the day before his wedding. But we do. So we're like, yo, we can't find the boat pickup. And he's all like, it's outside Arrivals. And we're like, it's not though. And he's like, oh, let me call this French person who should know, because it's like the other groom's friend was also getting the same boat pickup, and apparently they found the guy. So apparently they were actually sitting at check-in. It was not Arrivals, it was check-in counter. And I was like, we would never have found you at the check-in counter, but it's cool. We're about 15 minutes late, but we get our boat pickup. So that's good. We make it to Secret Private Island with just enough time to do our hair and makeup and put on better clothes and go to the party. The party's wonderful. Everybody's wonderful. Everything's great. Yay, wedding. And then the wedding happens. Wonderful wedding. Perfect wedding. Absolutely wonderful. And then the wedding is over. By the way, the wedding started like an hour and a half late, and it was a little bit of an issue because I ended up singing at the wedding. I don't mind. So basically, the groom's mom really likes enka music, and she was all like, you gotta sing at the wedding. And I was like, that is not part of the program. Let's ask the groom. And the groom's like, yeah, I actually really wanted to ask you to sing, but I didn't think it would be like polite because you're coming all the way from Japan for me. And I was like, it's fine, whatever, I'll sing for you. So I did. But the wedding was like an hour and a half late, so I ended up singing at 1 a.m. But it's fine, I don't mind. I can sing whenever. I sing whenever you want me to sing. It's fine, don't even mind. But just, just saying that. Anyway, perfect wedding. Wonderful, perfect wedding. Beautiful. Then it's time to leave. So it's Sunday now. And I'm like, yeah, wedding's over. Back to misfortune. Oh, yeah. And as I mentioned on yesterday's stream, one of the vows that the grooms made the other groom is, you are now my waifu for lifeu. But literally only 5 of us got that. Because, like, this was a wedding full of normies. Like, I literally thought that the groom had hired, like, actors and models to pretend to be his friends. Because, like, these people all looked like movie stars. I was like, they were all, like, 7 million feet tall and the most beautiful people I've ever seen. And, like, let's be real. The groom is the most beautiful person I'd ever seen. So, like, when I first met them, like, they just look like a K-pop star. And I was like, I don't know any K-pop stars. And, like, at the wedding as well, like, they just look like an actual god. So I was like, wow, all your friends look like this, really? And then it was at the table of nerds. Anyway, so, like, literally everybody was really normie, but super gorgeous. But yeah, the vow was waifu for lifeu, and so 5 of us laughed. All the nerds, we were all sitting in one row and we were like, but everybody else was like, what are they saying? What are they saying? The groom kept coming over to our table like, I want to talk about things I like with like other nerds. And I was like, this is what you get for pretending to be a normie on a private island. Anyway. Oh, by the way, I gave the groom 3 options for what I would sing at the wedding, because like it needed to be something I had with me, because I brought my computer and a memory stick, so I was like, I can sing anytime. But it had to be something I had on me, and I was like, you can get Sousei no Aquarian, which is what I would have picked, Suteki da ne from Final Fantasy X, or Kimi no Shiranai Monogatari from Bakemonogatari. He picked Kimi no Shiranai Monogatari, which is a sad love song, but you know, whatever, it's fun. And so I sang that at 1:30 a.m. after a whole day of wedding. But you know what? It was fine. I did fine. Like, I was like, you know, I'm proud of myself. I'm very jet lagged and I got this out. Oh, it's a great song. Yeah, he has good taste. He's got good taste. Like, obviously he has great taste. The wedding was the most idyllic thing. He came in on a boat, okay? Dude, like, legitimately came in with his designer outfit on a boat and then just, like, walked up this, like, hydrangea and lily aisle to his equally gorgeous new husband, and the whole theme was like light blue and white, and like there was like this chapel and the sun was hitting it perfectly, and I was like, what is happening here? This is a movie. So yeah, he got basically married on a movie set with like movie star looking friends. I was like, dang. Anyway, perfect wedding. Anyway, wedding's over. So then I'm like, how do we get off the island? My flight's at 3:30 p.m. So I need to get off the island around 11:30, so I can get to the airport 12:30, so that I've got enough, like I've got 3 hours, because this is a small airport with a very congested security line, which I saw when we were looking for the boat place. So I was like, I'm not gonna chance it, I'm gonna go early. I like being early, guys. I tried to thwart danger by being early, and it's good that I did this time. But anyway, so I was like, how do we get off the island? And all of our friends look at each other like, how do we get off the island? It's not covered. And we were like, wait, no, seriously, how do we get off this island? And they're like, you gotta charter a boat. And we're like, we gotta charter a boat? And then, like, thinking about it, we all leave at different times. Some people were staying an extra couple days. I was the only one not staying an extra couple days because I had work today. And I was like, I can't stay an extra day because, like, first thing in the morning Wednesday, I have work. And if I get in late Tuesday night, I'm not going to wake up. And so I was like, oh, I really got to leave today, though. And everybody else is leaving at different times. And there was a free boat from this private island to Venice Island itself. But then from Venice Island, you would need to cross the whole island because it's the wrong side of the island. You would need to find a way to get all the way across the island and then take another boat. And honestly, all of this costs quite a bit of money. And so I was like, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. And so I was like talking to my friends, like, what are you guys gonna do? And they were like, well, we need to stay in the hotel that we stayed in the first night because our flights are tomorrow. One of my friends is actually coming to Japan. Like, she actually like landed like yesterday, but she was coming a day later than me because she couldn't get on the flight that I was on. And so she was like, oh, I'm leaving the day after you, so I have to be in this hotel. And then my other friend was going back to wherever he lives in Europe. And he was like, I was just gonna stay with her because, like, it doesn't matter when I get home. I work from home anyway. It doesn't matter. Ha 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 ha. And I was like, okay. And then the other 2 people we knew were actually just gonna hang out in Venice for another couple days. Cool. And so I was the only one that was like desperate to get off this island at like morning. And I was like, oh no. So remember how I don't have a credit card? I can't book things. So I was like, oh no. And so I was like, hey, friends, I can't book things. Can you help me? And they were like, okay, we'll just take a thing together. So again, thank you, friends. So we get off the island. It costs an arm and a leg, but we get off the island. And we're back at Venice Airport. Things are going well. It's only noon. So I have time to check in, get my luggage checked in, eat pizza because the wedding had French food and not Italian food. So I really haven't had any pizza or any pasta at this wedding. Like, I'm in Italy. I've had basically a caprese salad and a sad lasagna square that was honestly not authentic. It was tourist lasagna. I just wanted pizza. And so I was like, cool, I'll just check in real fast. You guys wait there. Because they were like, oh, should we just like go back to the hotel like if you're going to check in? And I'm like, no, stay there. I want to have lunch with you guys. And they're like, okay. I'm so glad I asked them to stay. You guys don't understand. I'm so glad I asked them to stay. Oh, because I nearly got stranded in Venice. So, I get to the Emirates counter to catch up with my flight. I was like, la, I'm here so early. And I'm like, hi, Emirates. And there's like no line. And I'm like whooshing right through. And I'm like, this is going to take like a minute. La, here's my passport. And they're like, you don't have a booking with us. And I was like, what? And they were like, you're not in the system. And I was like, yes, huh? And so I showed them my confirmation, and they were like, do, and they looked it up, and they were like, no, you canceled it. And I was like, I did not. I didn't cancel it. And they were like, it's gone. And I was like, no, it can't be gone. I was like, I missed the first flight out, but I thought I could catch up with my booking. And you want to know what she said? She said, maybe those budget airlines allow you to catch up with bookings, but we're a luxury airline. You can't do that. If you miss your flight, they're all canceled. And I was like, I didn't get an email. You didn't give me an email. I didn't get a call. I can't rebook this. I have cash on me. I've got like about 500-600 euros in cash just in case, but that's not enough to buy a flight back to Japan. I can't afford it. I was like, oh no. And so I was like, oh God. I'm like hyperventilating. And like I said loudly, when she said, luxury airlines don't do that, I said kind of a little too loudly, why does a luxury airline have worse customer service than those budget airlines? And everybody in the line was like, And I was like, I missed my flight, but I thought I could catch up with this flight. This is something every other airline provides. Where did you say you did not do this? Is it in the fine print? And she's like, no, it's just common sense. Luxury airlines don't work like that. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize luxury airlines had worse service than every budget airline. And then the manager came over because he was like, oh, you gotta stop that right now. So the manager came over like, what's the problem? Because I said it really cutely. Like, I was like, I didn't realize that luxury airlines had such bad service. I paid a lot for this flight, and, I was not notified that you canceled my ticket without my consent. And they were like, oh, hold on. And I was like, yeah, I better hold on. And so he takes me into a new counter that is farther away from the other people waiting in the line so that they can't hear the conversation. And I mime to my friend, like, it's over, I'm dying, help me. So, like, I, like, do, like, the slit throat, like gesture, and I was like, help. So my friend comes over, and my friend, who's usually like not very reliable, by the way, my friend is terrified of boats, birds, heights, everything. Like, she's terrified of everything. So she's like, the entire boat ride, she was like literally like buried in my lap, like crying. So she was like still like wiping off the tears from the boat ride, and she's all like, what's going on? And I was like, they canceled my flight and didn't notify me, and now I can't get home. And she's all like, oh? So she was all like, how could you do this? And they were like, well, like, luxury airline. And she's like, it doesn't sound luxury to me. And they were like, well, we can reissue the ticket, but it will cost more money. And she's all like, fine, what's it cost? And I was like, help. And she's all like, I'll pay it, whatever, what's it cost? And I was like, I love you. And she was all like, I'll pay whatever it is. And they were like, well, like, the thing is that because you canceled the last flight, and I was like, I didn't cancel it, I missed it. Like, because you canceled the last flight, there's a no-show cancellation fee. And then on top of that, there's no more economy class seats left, so you have to pay premium economy. So it's like 800 euros. And my friend was like, all right, put it on my card. And I was like, I love you. I love you so much. And she's all like, whatever, just buy me dinner in Japan. And I was like, yeah, I'll buy whatever you want in Japan. So, like, I'll buy you a cat, whatever you want. And so, yeah, like, I love her. Honestly, like, absolute Chad, you're right. Like, this friend, I love her so much. I was like so scared, and she's like, worst case scenario, I would have given you my flight tomorrow. And I was like, but you need to go because you've got like a thing, like you have work in Japan, you can't just like not take that flight. She's like, whatever, I would have figured it out. And I was like, you're usually so unreliable. She was like, I got you. So yeah, MVP my friends. Like, if it wasn't for the two of my friends, and by the way, this took like an hour to get through, so like by the time we were done with all of this, because like their system wasn't rebooking it, and she was all like, make it work manually. Like seriously, she was all like, make it work manually, because they're like, our system's rejecting it, and she's all like, make it work. And they were like, okay. And she's like, you know, my friend has important work in Japan. She can't miss this flight. Like, this is on you. You didn't notify her. And I was like, wow, I've never seen you this cool before. I think I'm in love. And so, yeah. So anyway, so like my friend saved my life and my career. Thank you. Yeah, so like whenever she's done with whatever she's doing right now, she's got unlimited free stay in my house, and I will buy her every dinner for the next however long she's in Japan. But once I got on that flight, so we didn't really have time for like sitting down and eating pizza, but my other friend, the friend that was watching all of this happen, like, whoa, he bought us all like little tiny pizzas that I literally like ate in like the security line because I was like, pizza, I need to have pizza in Italy. I literally did not see any of Italy. I really didn't have Italian food. I did not have any Italian wine. I had like a champagne, like one bubbly wine, and that's it. Like, I did not enjoy Italy as much as I wanted to enjoy Italy, so I'm gonna have revenge. I will go back to Italy and actually do Italian things. So, but I made it through. Once I got on that last flight, it went well. Oh no, I lied. It didn't go well. Hold on. Ooh, but is that too much information? Okay, let me just give you a brief version. So basically, this was a bad time of the month for me to be flying. And there was like a little bit of, let's call it, an accident. And so I needed to buy new pants desperately at the Dubai airport. Oh no, yeah. So, I mean, the flight was great, but then I got off the flight, and I went to the bathroom, and I was like, oh, snap. Oh, snap. So I was like, oh, no. Luckily, I do always keep a change of underwear in my bag, but I didn't keep a change of pants, right? I keep underwear and shirt in my bag, but, like, why would I need to change my pants? Because being a girl sucks. So, I needed to buy pants at Dubai airport. You know who doesn't sell pants? Dubai airport. So it is midnight at Dubai airport, but there is no active wear. Like, I was hoping to like find like an Adidas or something like wherever. I looked in all the duty-free shops and they had t-shirts and sweatshirts, but no sweatpants. You go to any airport in America or Europe and there's just like all the sweatpants and all the sweatshirts, but Dubai only has scarves, shirts, sweaters. I guess people don't wear pants in Dubai. So I was like, I need pants. So I can't find any female employees anywhere in this airport. And I don't know what to do. So I find a security guard that looks nice. And I was like, hi, is there anywhere I can buy pants? And he's all like, pants? And I was like, yeah, like slacks, like sweatpants, because pants can sometimes mean underwear depending on the country that you're in, so I didn't want him to think I needed undies because I had those. And I was like, yeah, slacks, sweatpants, joggers. And he was like, there's one store, and it's in a different terminal. And I'm like, okay, show me. And he brings me to the like Emirates football store. And I'm like, okay, they got pants, sure. It's mostly men's underwear. And I'm like, worst case scenario, okay, I could just wear men's underwear under my shirt, sure. Luckily, I've got really long socks, and it's kind of a vibe. Let's be honest. Like, you know, cute sweatshirt with like cute hearts all over it, and then like boxer shorts with like sparkly purple socks. That's a vibe. I was like, I can make that work. But then I find one pair of joggers, Puma brand. And I was like, I've never liked Puma more than today. And they're black. They've got like a little pocket. I was like, I don't hate these at all. Like, I actually like these, but they only come in extra large. And you know what? Okay, whatever, baggy's in. So I bring it to the counter where this like big beefy guy is looking at me like, women shouldn't wear pants. And I was like, hi, I'd like to buy these pants. And he's like, they're 100 euros. Cypher! Thank you. It's my whatever I need fund. My crying into my Puma pants fund. So he's like, they're 100 euros. And remember, I had cash on me. So I was like, I have 100 euros. Yes. So I spend $1 billion on these pants. And he's looking at me like, are these for you? And I'm like, yes, they're for me. And then I notice him like look me up and down. And I'm like, what? And I'm like, okay, like you guys probably don't need to know, but I'm hiding the spot with my bag. Like, I'm all like, hide. Luckily they're black pants, so it's really hard to tell, but I'm hiding the spot with my bag. I just, you know, and I'm like, can I have a bag with them? And he's like, I thought they're for you. And I'm like, they are, but can I have a bag? Because I need to put my dirty pants in the bag, right? So that they don't get stuff all over my bag. And so he's all like, okay. So he's like, it's like an extra like €0.50. And I'm like, I don't care. Just give me the bag. He's judgmental because I don't think women like really like wear, like they don't buy men's pants in Dubai maybe. There again, I could not find a single female employee anywhere in this airport. I don't really think Saudi Arabia is known for women's rights. So, so yeah, I don't really think that's what they're best known for. So yeah, so like, yeah. I have the pants. Honestly, the pants look better on me than my other pants did anyway. So I'm like, I kind of love these pants. So thank you, my new favorite pants. And then I get on the connecting flight back to Japan. It's the best flight. It's a great flight. Emirates is a luxury airline. It's a nice flight. Like there's cute little like constellations on the ceiling with a twinkle while you sleep. Joshua! Thank you, spare plants. Thank you. Now, yay, pants. From now on, by the way, I will always bring an entire change of outfit in my bag. I will never fly again without pants in my bag. Now I know. Because I was like, underwear should suffice. I was wrong. Anyway, because I have everything else in my bag. I've got cold medicine. I've got pain medication in case I get a headache or something. I've got other supplies that girls might need. I've got, like, you know, NyQuil sleepy bye-bye medicine that I've never actually used, but just in case I'm having problems sleeping, I'll use it. I've got an alarm. I've got a charger. I've got a power bank. I've got my laptop. I've got everything. But not pants. So, now I will forever keep pants, and also I will forever have, and I think this is too much money to have on you, but I will never have less than like 3,000 USD available to me abroad. So as you guys know if you've been following me for a while, thank you, Cyber! As you guys know if you've been following me for a while, I only recently got a debit card. And I did have my debit card with me, which is how I had what is essentially cash. It was my debit card. And I can book things for the most part, but some things will only take credit cards, which I do not have. So things that only take credit cards, I can't book with my debit card. Like the hotel said no, and I had to use my friend's credit card. And like, it's not like an extra charge, it's just a holding fee, but they wouldn't take my debit card. So because my debit card doesn't actually work as a credit card, it's good for paying for things, but I can't book things easily with it. So if it's like booking, paying for things, yes. So I will now no longer have less than $1 billion on that thing when I travel. I had only brought like the equivalent of like 800 euros because I was like, how would I possibly spend more than that? Well, when I have to buy a new plane ticket, like immediately I do. Ugh. Orphan Nikkei Home Fund! Yes, fun is needed. I played like 3 hours of Nikkei last night. after the collab with Pam, I got further in the story because I wanna pull on Asuka one more time. But like, oh my god! So the flight back was great. There was nobody sitting next to me. So I was at the window, and there was like a Japanese guy in the aisle. We chatted a bit because he was really surprised I spoke fluent Japanese. And he was asking if he could like take the Emirates has this like little package with like socks in it, and he's like, can I take the extra package of socks? And I'm like, go for it, live your best sock life. Thank you, Shadow Demon Lord. What happened? Oh yeah, the orange juice lady. Oh my gosh. So that last flight, sorry Stella, thank you Stella. So that last flight was wonderful. It was a great flight, but my flight attendant for our area, she was new. It was maybe like her first flight. She was being helped a lot by like the other flight attendants, but she was definitely new. So I asked for water, and she gave me orange juice, and I was like, I asked for water. I'm allergic. And she's like, oh, do you want it anyway? And I was like, no, because I'll die. And she's like, oh, okay. She tried to pass it off on everyone. And then that's the first time she came around. And then the second time she came around, I was like, can I have mango juice? Because they have mango juice on Emirates, which is nice. I like mango juice. Thank you, Meta! Pants refund fund. Now I have more pants. Honestly, they were like really expensive pants, but they're really nice. They have a pocket. I love pockets. Anyway, so the second time she came around, I was like, can I have mango juice? And then the guy next to me got orange juice. He got orange juice both times, by the way. And then she gave us both orange juice. And I was like, yeah, I'm still allergic to orange juice. Like, I'm wearing like a bright pink and teal sweater. Like, I'm hard to forget. Like, my voice sounds like this. So I'm like, mango juice, please. And like, is it really that hard to remember? So anyway, she gave me orange juice again. And I was like, is this orange juice? And she was like, yep, it's what you asked for. And I'm like, I need mango juice. And she was like, oh, do you want it anyway? She's like, is this okay though? And I'm like, no, it's not. But it's just funny at this point. So I get back to Japan.
No, you should also say why the no-show about the no-show fee.
Oh, I did talk about the no-show fee. Oh, I talked about the no-show fee, Stella. Why the no-show fee wasn't paid already? Because normally if you don't show, you'll get charged on your credit card. But remember Stella last week? Remember Stella last week had her card stolen by some like fake private investigator based in Hyogo Prefecture, so her card was canceled. So they couldn't charge Stella's card, so we didn't know about the no cancel fee, so we had to pay it in person. Everything went wrong. Stella was scammed by some scammy, icky place. I almost didn't make it to Venice a billion times, and then I almost got trapped in Venice. I lost pants. But I got back to Japan, like 6 p.m. Monday night. It's Narita Airport, which is the farther away airport, more annoying, but whatever. I have residence here in Japan, not permanent residence, but I have residency here in Japan, so I've got a very short immigration line. It's literally just like me and 3 other people. There's never more than like 3 people in this line. So I go whoosh right through immigration. My bag's one of the first ones out on the carousel, so I grab it and I go home. I take the Narita Express because I don't even want to think about taking the Yamanote during like rush hour lasts forever in Japan, so I didn't even want to try to take the Yamanote or the Keihin Tohoku line. So I was just like, I'm just gonna take the Narita Express to Shinjuku and then change trains there to my smaller train line, and it was fine. I get back. Stella has already bought me milk tea for the next day, and she's already bought me dinner. I eat the dinner. I make some thumbnails. I play Nikke. I go to bed. Boof. Boof. Once I'm in Japan, I'm good. But yeah, it was an ordeal. But what I told the groom, because like the groom didn't know that I nearly missed my flight and that I've since nearly got trapped in Venice. What I told the groom before the wedding, because like he was kind of freaking out a little bit, like he was like crying, because all all bridegrooms cry, you know, like they all do it. So like every single person getting married is gonna freak out on their wedding day. So like when he was freaking out and like he called all of his friends to the room to be like, you got this, you can do it, because he sung an original song, by the way, to his husband. It was so beautiful. He's a great singer. When I heard the song, I was like, is this like Jejun's song? It's so good. Like, what K-pop artist is this? And he's like, it's me. And I'm like, oh my god. Like, it sounded so good, and he composed it himself, and like, he was so freaked out about it though. He was like, what if I like make a mistake? And I was like, if you make a mistake, pretend you were crying. Like, to be like, I don't know, like, let's pretend this is the song, like, being like, just pretend to cry, and then you'll have everybody in tears. I was like, that's what I do if I forget my lyrics or something. I'll just be like, I'm choked up. And he's like, thank you. And I was like, yeah, that's what you get for inviting a professional to your wedding, is all my tips and tricks. So, like, if you forget a lyric, just like move the mic away from your face and be like, oh, I can't because I love you so much. And if you crack at all, even if you don't crack because you're crying, if you just can't hit the note because you partied too hardy the night before, just pretend it's a sob. And you know what? That's what he did. And everyone cried. But anyway, so like he was all crying and stuff like right before, because all bridegrooms do this, and we were like, no, you got it. And then I was like, did you know I nearly missed my flight? And he was like, what? And I'm like, I took all the bad luck away, so you're gonna have the best wedding ever. And you know what he did? He did have the best wedding ever. It was the best. So I'm glad that my misfortune, and also my friend's misfortune, the one that was like literally stuck on the toilet all night before the wedding, I'm glad that our misfortune resulted in the most magical wedding for our friend ever. You're welcome. You're welcome. All right. Honestly, yeah, like, how would anyone know if he made a mistake? That's another thing I told him, is that, like, no one's ever heard this song before. You literally composed it yourself, so you can just ad-lib. Like, you can just ad-lib. You can't make a mistake. It's your own song. So yeah, that's my Venice story. If you ask me how Venice went, I don't know. I didn't see Venice. I literally never went to the main island. We, like, boated through it occasionally, like on the way back, and I was like, ooh, Spider-Man was there in that one movie. But literally that's the most I saw of Venice, was like from a boat, and I was like, wow, one day I'll come. Yeah, and I have no idea how Italy is like, but what I do know is that everybody looks like a model. They're all really tall, and they're all really beautiful, and they all have really nice eyebrows, and I was like, wow, and perfect hair. Like, I was like, dang, everybody's pretty. Also, lots of pretty, like, hazel eye color, which I don't see that often. I was like, nice. But yeah, I had a lot of fun at the wedding itself. I've never been to such a fancy wedding or island. The venue was perfect. The hotel room, I will never stay in a hotel room like that ever again. I know that. It was a villa. I stayed in a villa. I was like, what is this? Yeah, that will never happen to me again. He's the only really rich person I know. So and like the other groom is also stupidly rich. They're just two really stupidly rich people, and that will never happen to me again. But yeah, I had a lot of fun. So I hopefully will go have revenge on Italy next year with Stella as like a proper vacation, because she loves Italy and I've never really been. She speaks a little bit of Italian, and so I would like to have my revenge. Woo! GB, thank you! I told them, like, I sent like this big soppy, like, I love you so much thing to all of my wonderful friends. Like, I love them so much. They can do no wrong in my heart. Like, I don't care what anyone says. These people are the best people I have ever met. Like, they had no reason to save my life to the degree in which they saved my life. Because, like, the thing is that, like, I'm a whole adult. Like, not having a credit card is ridiculous. And, like, I'm so glad that, like, so many of these amazing people, like, step up and, like, you know, care. I've never felt so cared for before. Like, seriously, like, I mean, Stella's always the most best ever, but I've never... It's wonderful to be able to look back and be like, oh, I have some really great friends, you know? Like, I hope I can I can do that for them someday. Like, not that they have any crises. I don't want my friends to ever be in crises. But I hope that there is a time that I can do that for someone else. Because, like, I was, like, just sobbing. And they were just like, I'll fix it. I don't care. And I was like, I love you. I'm usually the responsible one. I'm usually the reliable one. Like, this whole wedding, the friend that, like, had all that riz was literally hiding behind me. I was doing all the social interaction because she doesn't really like people. And, like, she buried her face in, like, my crotch during the boat ride because she was terrified of the boat. And, like, I didn't know she had that in her. And I'm used to being the one other people rely on. So, like, you know, it's so scary to, like, not be there, like, not be the reliable one, and then, like, seeing somebody that, like, you love dearly put on a hat you've never seen them put on before and just, like, be, like, the most coolest, most ikemen ever. Like, I was like, girl, can I marry you? Like, hold on, wow. I was like, wait a second. So yeah, that was wonderful. So now I have an unforgettable memory and really good neta for my stream. So that was Venice. And again, I would like to reiterate how much I love everyone, and I'm so happy for the grooms and their families, and a little bit of the shade that was being thrown at the grandma that didn't approve. That was funny. That was really funny. They were like, I think that a parent's happiness comes from the happiness of their children. Right, Grandma? That was the best shade I'd ever seen thrown during a speech at a wedding. They were like, right, Grandma? It was honestly magical. I've uploaded a couple pictures. I think the Voice and Sides account might upload one more picture of, like, the wedding table, but it's got my in real life name on it, so I can't post it on this account. But Cinedragon posted a few pictures. I wasn't able to get that many pictures because it was very hectic. Like, it was absolutely a packed schedule. It was basically a day and a half of constant wedding. But I had a lot of really good, it was called, like, the Island of Roses, and it had, like, rose olive oil, and I managed to grab a little bit from the gift shop. So I'll be eating that along with my like, pack of risotto that I got, so that was delicious. Yeah, like, wedding table, everybody gets seated at these, like, round tables, and they put you with people that might have similar interests. So it was the nerd table plus two normies that didn't know where they were. And so all the nerds had a lot of fun talking about nerd things. And they looked lost. They were in a corner. I felt bad for them. Yeah, the nerd table, like, the menu was really pretty, and they were all personalized. And then, like, the centerpiece was really pretty, so I took a picture of it. Yeah. Will Cinedragon be there? Cinedragon was in Italy. I took lots of pictures. Well, not lots, but I took some pictures of Cinedragon in Italy. He's on a Vespa. He has a caprese salad. I think I took one more picture of him in front of some hydrangea, which were the wedding flowers. And then I took one more picture of him in front of an olive tree because this island had a grove of olive trees where they made their own olive oil. That was really fun. But yeah. Yeah. Night of the Round Table, yes! Nerd Table was the best. And then, if you guys have been following Lumin's Twitter, you saw that last night I uploaded my original song that is coming out. It's not premiered yet. It premieres Friday. But I uploaded it yesterday. And I got copyrighted. And I was like, what? What? So I was like, that's silly. It must be my publisher, because this has happened once before with Macaron Memories. I copyrighted to me. And I was like, okay, well, I'll just say, like, hi, I'm the original artist, blah, blah, blah. I'm sure this is my publisher being extra thorough, which I thank them for, but this is me, so please don't. And I sent that into YouTube, and the dispute was slapped back. And I was like, but it's me. And then I took a closer look at who disputed the claim. And I was like, who's that? That's not my publisher. I know who my publisher is. It's not them. Because, okay, let me explain a little bit about this song. This song has been in development for 4 years. So I partnered up with this amazing producer named Richie Beretta, who wanted to make songs with me after he heard me doing some stuff somewhere else and was like, I got a song I really want you to sing. And he had an unfinished instrumental. And he's like, can you do something with this? And I was like, I got you, fam. So the next year and a half, we work together tweaking. I make the top line and all of the harmonies and the lyrics. And he keeps tweaking the instrumental until it's honestly my favorite song I've ever made. It's a collaborative effort. This is one of the first times I have ever fully top-lined a song. This was, again, 4 years ago, and I do more top-lining now, but at the time, I was just coming out of Sony, so I hadn't really top-lined that often. Since that's usually left to the composers within Sony, I would do lyrics, but not so much top-lines, and I would do harmonies a lot, but not top-lines. So I had a lot of fun making it a song that I wanted to make, like, you know, making the top-line and the lyrics together was really interesting. I also really wanted to make this song bilingual, so the song is entirely both Japanese and English. It switches in the middle of sentences. If you don't speak Japanese, you can still understand the song. Same with if you don't speak English, you can still understand the song. There's enough of both languages that it makes sense no matter what language you speak. And if you speak both, it's even better. And so it's very different from the music that I had made up until now. So I wanted to release it in a different format. I had always planned on releasing it under a separate identity from The Voice Inside because it's very much a departure in style. It's nothing like anything else I have. And so, at least at the time it wasn't. Macaron Memories is actually kind of like an answer song to it, but it's the better version, really. Macaron Memories is like a B-side if that was a single. So anyway, and I love Macaron Memories. So after a year and a half, we've got the song itself finished. It needs to be remastered and mixed a little bit more. I wasn't entirely happy with, like, you know, some of the mixing, but we had it good enough to start shopping around. So I bring it to a bunch of different labels here in Japan. He brings it to a bunch of different labels in the US where he's based, and people generally like it, but they don't understand the genre because it isn't one. It's really totally different from anything I've ever heard. And so he couldn't find anyone and I couldn't find anyone that wanted to option the song for a label release. And then I started approaching different studios for anime, but there was nothing that quite fit the feel of the song. Again, it's not really a real genre, so they were like, we don't really know what to do with it, but we like it a lot. And I was like, that makes sense. And so then I was like, well, I wonder if I can get a game or a commercial interested. So I started approaching different developers and like chocolate companies and stuff like that because it's about sweets. And one of the chocolate companies is really interested in the song, but they wanted a more famous artist. And I was like, eh. And they were like, if you got someone else to sing it, maybe. And I was like, then no. This is my baby. And so it ended up that, you know, it's been 3 years now. And we couldn't find a buyer for the song. But I am in love with this song. Like, it's my favorite thing I've ever made. I love it so much. It's the most pure version of me ever because there's no client. Did you know? This is the first song I've ever made with no client. I've always made my songs for a game or for an anime. I've never not had a client. Macaron Memories was for a Genshin AU. Genshindo, Genshin AU. Heiwa Sanka, Arknights. Set sails for Nikkei. And then, like, you know, Spinning Worlds Naruto. Like, I've never not had a client. So I was like, this is the most pure version of me, so maybe I should post it somewhere that is the most pure version of me, and that's Lumin. Like, Lumin is the most authentic, real version of myself. It's the songs I want to sing. It's the community that I love. It's on my terms. And so I'm like, yeah, okay, I think I want this song for Lumin. So I talked to the producer and I'm like, hey, I'd like to release this as my VTuber, but still also crediting The Voice Inside because I think that's important. And they were like, yeah, go for it, whatever. And so, like, I'm now was like, I need a video. Because, like, if it's not going to be for a game or an anime, I would like to have a fully animated video. So this is about still like a year and a half ago. And so I'm talking to somebody that I've known for over a decade that I love the animation of. And it's a very different genre. It's not anything they've never worked with a VTuber before, but they're interested in VTubers. And I have been a fan of them since legit like university. They did a Simpsons opening. They have done like a lot of really cool indie stuff, and like, you know, they're I think pretty well known in like the sort of indie animation scene, and I really wanted them to make a video for me. They also make Pokemon and Digimon cards. Like their cards are for sale as Pokemon and Digimon art cards. And I just think the world of them. So I was like, you know, can you make a video for me? And they were like, yeah, sounds good. Yay! And I was like, okay. So, completely separately from me being a VTuber, because Lumin had not debuted at the time. Lumin was under construction but had not debuted. So this person didn't know I was going to be VTubing. They came up with a storyline for the song that was relevant to VTubers. And I was like, wow, that's perfect. And then I mentioned that I'm doing Lumin, and they were like, let me add some Easter eggs in, so look for the Easter eggs on Friday. And it's a perfect video for my favorite song with amazing, awesome collaborators. And I talked to everybody, and I'm like, I'm just gonna release this as a standalone single. And they're like, sounds good. And so the composer's all like, I want to give you majority splits, so you take 55%, I'll take 45%, go for it. And the animator's all like, yeah, I'll upload a version on my channel to try and get people to your channel, so we'll both upload the same video, but that's to try and funnel people to your channel. I'll do it later than your upload to try and funnel people over so that it keeps going. And I'm like, thanks. And then I talked to my publisher, and I'm like, hey, can I publish this worldwide? And I want to make sure that it's on the Spotify discovery mode thing, which means that I have to publish it 2 months ahead of time. And it needs to go through the system and get all like in like a bunch of playlists and stuff like that. Like this is an involved process. It's not that easy, but it really helps get traction for a new track and a new artist, because Lumin's fairly new. And so I do everything right, and then I upload it to YouTube, and I get copyrighted, and it doesn't affect me being able to upload the video. Like it's still viewable anywhere, but I don't recognize who's copyrighted it. I'm like, who? Because it's not my publisher or my distribution. So I talked to the composer, because I'm like, maybe you sampled something, but like the length that is copyrighted, they're like, the content was found from 00 to like 419, which is the full length of the song. And I'm like, normally if it's just like a sample, it's just like a little bit of the song. So like, what's going on? So I talked to the composer, and I'm like, what, did you put it like on a sync site? And he's like, no, you had the shopping agreement. Like I gave everything to you. And I was like, huh. And then he looked it up, and he was like, here's this hilarious chicken Reddit thing, because apparently this company has copyrighted chickens in Greece. Like literally just somebody's chickens. Like chickens and turkeys in Greece. And I'm like, okay. So that's, I guess, their MO. And I'm like, but how did they have the content? Because it's not out yet. It's nowhere. But we had shopped it around for a couple years, right? So people have heard the track before. And it would catch on an algorithm. So I'm like, was it left on a sync site or something? Like a distribution or sync site? Like, is this somebody we spoke to? And like, he's like, I don't think so. And I'm like, I've never heard of them either. So I contacted my publisher, and I'm like, why? And they were like, that might be one of the distributions in somewhere in Europe that's not directly us, but is a subsidiary, but they really shouldn't be claiming it. And I was like, why? Because I asked my publisher, don't content ID, because I want people to cover the song. Like I was gonna provide the instrumental as long as I get the composer's okay, so that people can cover the song freely, right? And like we might do like a content ID, but we wouldn't like, you know, smack people around or anything. Like, and like I was like, especially like when I'm uploading it, please don't content ID. And they're like, no, it shouldn't have been content ID'd because we turned it off for you. But they didn't, so we're gonna have to, like, if they're one of us, because they don't know. So like my publisher isn't sure. They're like, we don't think we know, but like maybe it's this, because like we have like a lot of distributions in a lot of different countries. So it could be like, I don't know, like Romania's distribution, which looking get a lot of like my content ID, a lot of it gets content ID'd from like Eastern Europe or Latin America, who definitely doesn't own the content because they're like Sony Japan, and I'm like, okay. But it's apparently like these offshore places, they do own it for their region, but they claim it for all regions. And like, it's not that they own it though, because like the royalties would go back to me anyway, but they get a cut from all regions. So what they're doing, which is kind of scammy, is wherever this thing is, they're a small distributor that is a subsidiary of my main publisher, maybe. And they are content IDing my worldwide release, which means all of the YouTube royalties will go through them and they'll get a cut of them before my main publisher and I get a cut. And my composer. And that's crappy. So I was like, they can maybe do that for their area, but they can't do it worldwide. Because like, if anything, it should be coming from Japan. This is a jazz rock song. So I got my publisher to see if they could figure it out on their end. If not, then I'm going to dispute it, because honestly they shouldn't really be claiming it because it isn't theirs. They're at best a small subsidiary. So like, and we're still not sure if that's who they are. They are a legit company, but they also do unlegit things sometimes. So like, we're just gonna try and figure it out. If I hope it fixes before the song goes live on Friday. But it's the system is broken. This happens a lot. Basically, like, even if the song is allowed to be covered, say in Japan, like Latin America will claim it, and then Japan doesn't get the money for it until Latin America gets their cut first, which is absolute BS, and I think that's what's going on here as well. So we'll just figure it out. But it's really annoying, and I kind of wish I had done the upload a little bit earlier so that we could have tried to figure it out earlier, but I was in Venice, and I didn't get the finished video until Saturday. So I was in Venice on Saturday. I couldn't really have uploaded it from my hotel room with spotty internet on a deserted island in the middle of the Mediterranean. So it was the fastest I could have uploaded it. So I'm like, I've been dealing with this since like last night, which is like the day after I come back, and now I have a fever, and so I'm like pretty about it. But I'm really excited for the song. I love this song. I really hope you guys like this song too, and it doesn't take away from the fact that it's my favorite thing I've ever done. I really hope you guys like it, because it is my baby, and if you guys are like, it's mid, I'll be really sad about it. We'll see. It's a little bit scary, you know, because I've been working on it for so long, and it's so my baby. Because, like, most other songs, like, they're not in production for anywhere near this long, so I'm all like, well, if you don't like it, like, I get it, like, it's not everybody's cup of tea, but this one, like, I've been sitting on it for so long that if you guys are just like, I'll be really sad. So pretend to like it even if you don't. Pretend to. But yeah, my publisher will sort it. I just want people to like it and enjoy it and be able to enjoy it and maybe do covers of it if they like it. I'll try and post the lyrics like in a document somewhere. It's my baby. The parents are me and Beretta. But mostly me and also mostly Beretta. It's both of us. It's me and Beretta. Beretta is awesome, but a lot of people don't really know who he is. Arigato! Thank you! Yeah, Beretta's great. He's worked with, like, jam projects before. Also, like, Beyonce. Like, he's kind of all over the place. Mitzi, like, a whole bunch of, like, really cool people. But he's got, like, this really interesting kind of, like, it's not city pop, but it's, like, a laid-back sort of funk rock style that I quite like. And we've got a couple other songs in the works. Both of us work at a very slow pace. But there's one that's basically like if Sorairo Days was also a Naruto song is one that we're working on, that we've been working on for like 2 years. But I really like his compositions, and his mixing is amazing. And I'm really picky about mixing. It's basically like Kazu or bust. So so he's really amazing. And so yeah, I hope you guys enjoy Friday, because that is the next stream. Yeah, The Jam Project. He's worked with The Jam Project. But yeah. Oh, it's your birthday, Dun-chan, yatta! I will remember to sing happy birthday on Friday for you then. I'll be doing like a 3-hour karaoke stream before the song premiere, and I know it's like a really awkward time zone for the US. I am so sorry. But the VOD will be up for a while, and then it will move to my archive channel that I swear I'm gonna get going. But yeah. That baby took 3 or 4 times the birth. Yeah, oh gosh, it took so long. I've been literally working on it since late 2019. So it's been nearly 5 years at this point. I think it's been almost exactly 5 years. This is a 5-year project. But I'm very happy with it, and I just really hope people like it. That's all I hope. And I feel like after all of this bad luck, something good has got to be coming. So maybe it's the song's release. Who knows? The mysterious elusive archive channel. I swear I'll get to that. I've just been so busy. But hopefully things will calm down a bit. Next week I've got Lumin Palooza. It will be Lumin's birthday on Wednesday next week, and I will be doing a endurance stream. I'm gonna start at either 11 or 12. I haven't quite figured it out yet, and I'll have a couple guests pop in to chat and sing. But otherwise I'll be chatting and singing and maybe, I don't know, playing games or something. We'll figure it out together. But it'll be, I think, my second endurance stream, and there's no goal. It's just to endure. The goal is to endure. But yeah, Lumin Palooza Wednesday. But then, like, I work the next day, and then it's Tokyo Game Show the day after that. So after Lumin Palooza, I'm not going to be streaming indefinitely until at least the weekend, maybe later. I'll probably need some time off. But I'll definitely stream like Monday or Tuesday. Goal, don't die. But yeah, that's gonna be the main stream that week. So we'll see how it goes. I'm pretty excited because I've only done one endurance stream before and it didn't end up that long because I had a goal and I hit the goal a little too fast. So this time there is no real goal. I have a goal inside my heart, but I'm not gonna tell you what it is. So I don't want to hit it too fast. Because, like, last time I was like, my goal is blah, blah, blah. And I hit it, like, in, like, 3.5 hours. And I'm like, this is a short stream for me. So this time, my goal's much more difficult. And I'm not going to tell you what it is. So if I hit that goal, I'll let you know. If I don't hit that goal, nobody knew, so it's okay. This is called anxiety. For those of you that didn't know. The goal is the friends that we make along the way. Yes. I will tell you if you hit it. But it's okay if we don't. I don't expect to. And I don't want to, like, force myself to stream until I'm dead. So I will stop streaming when I notice my body is like, no. But I will stream until I feel like it. Endurance. Anxiety stream, let's go. So, that is Lumin Lately. Oh, that's a really great name for a show. Hold on. That's a really Lumin Lately is now the name of my chats. Now that we know. Lumin Lately. Anyway. Yes, that is what's been going on. Sorry if this sounded really angry. I just think it's funny at this point. Like, so many things went wrong that it was, like, honestly, like, when I needed to buy new pants, I was just like, okay. As long as I can find pants, I will norikoeru. Most illuminating. Late night Lumin. Late night with Lumin Lately. Oh, it's getting better. I think I attracted Murphy's Law for sure. And honestly, again, maybe this means something's awesome. Like, it's coming my way. Please be Genshin. Please. It's my dream. I want to voice something in Genshin. It's my dream. Yeah, I don't know if that's actually gonna happen, but I don't think Genshin knows who I am. I think they're like, who? But yeah, no. Doesn't YouTube you? Oh, Chelsea Handler? Who's that? I feel like I've heard the name before. Is that like a TV person? Manifest Genshin, let's go! Please. So, remember how, like, I used to joke, like, oh, I'm happy to be a talking squirrel in Genshin, and then they had this summer event that had talking squirrels? I was like, come on! I was literally like, come on! Now I can't use my talking squirrel joke anymore. But yeah, if karma's real, I mean, but the thing is that if you count on it, then it's not gonna happen. So I'm not gonna like count on it too hard. You know what I mean? Because if I'm expecting it, it's definitely not gonna happen. So I'm just gonna like hope quietly in my heart that something like Genshin will work, or Nikkei, and see what happens. Oh, Chelsea lately, but that doesn't even have good alliteration. Chelsea lately's, it should have been like Chelsea choose you out or something like that. Like it needed to have a ch sound. Chelsea lately's not at all alliterated. It doesn't count if there's no alliteration. I have the perfect squirrel right here. Right here. Squirrel. I like how it's spelled because it's got too many letters. But yeah, that's what's going on. Huh. How you guys? I actually, since I have a fever, will probably end my stream pretty quickly. But I do want to see how you guys are. How's it been going for you guys? Let's see. I'll read the comments while I drink my tea that I was given an hour and a half ago. Still warm because it's so hot today. Ah, so yummy. Oh, that's spicy. Okay, pepper tea. All right. Sri Lankan tea is intense. Ooh, but I sound so crisp now. Better now that you're back, yatta. Ooh, Rottenwood's doing good. Shadow Demon Lord's doing 8. That's good, that's good. Evie's doing well. Yay. Oh, I'm glad to hear that. Meta's working on lots. It's cold in Germany. It was cold in Italy, too. I guess they're really close to each other. I was in northern Italy. But, like, it was, like, 13 degrees at night. It's 35 degrees in Japan. I'm hot. And I was so cold in Italy. I brought, like, a really thick sweater. Still freezing. Like, me and my friend were both just, like, shivering. We actually asked the hotel for extra blankets, and they were like, why do you need extra blankets? And we were like, it's so cold. It's so cold. Thank you, Hyper. Arigato. Event stories, yeah. Oh, I still haven't finished the Archon quest in Genshin, like, at all. I did, like, the events, like the Doroko event, but I haven't done the Archon quest yet. I'm so late. The cool Miregoji, hello. How are you, Miregoji? I talked about my epic saga in Venice. I almost didn't get to Venice, and then I almost didn't get out of Venice. It was hard. I do think that Emirates needs to look at their policy of canceling your flight if you miss a flight, because that's mean. Their advice to me later was, oh, you should have just canceled all the flights and then rebooked it, because you would have gotten a partial refund. And I was like, where did it say that? I'm glad it was funny. That's the thing, is that, like, at least my misfortune is amusing. So that makes me happy, because I do like being amusing, so that's good. My British professor told me he hated it there. As far as I can tell, my like British professors kind of hate everything that isn't, like, they hate the weather in their own country. They hate food everywhere. Like, my image of old British curmudgeon-y professors is that they're never happy. The entire time I was in England a few months ago, everybody just complained about the perfect weather. They're like, it's too sunny now. And, like, normally it's like, it's too rainy, or it's really bad weather today. And then when it's sunny, they're like, it's too hot. I'm like, pick something. Yeah. This is a story I can tell for the rest of my life. Yeah, the time that, the disaster wedding, yes. But at least the wedding itself was magical and wonderful. And I'm really happy about that. Like, hopefully my misfortune made it so that my friend's wedding was perfect. It's British tradition to complain. That's what I got, yeah. That was the feel that I got. I feel like I could, like, make, like, a comic about it, Dovin. I think that's a great idea. I could make, like, a little baby comic about it. Maybe I'll draw on my Lumin Palooza birthday stream, and we can draw, like, little comic shorts or something. 80 degrees, heat wave. Okay. Meanwhile, it's so hot in Japan. It's like late September. Why is it still 35 degrees? It's usually like 27 degrees. I could do 27. Give me my 27. You know, I've never missed a flight before. Girthy, you missed one to Japan? They rebooked me for the next day and also moved my return date. See, Japan does this. Emirates, what are you doing? Like, that's the thing, is, like, I was expecting at least budget airline service from a self-proclaimed luxury airline. Because, like, that's the thing. Like, if you miss your flight, they book someone else that also paid for a ticket so they don't lose money, right? So, like, they'll just rebook you the same day, like what they were calling budget airlines, which means normal airlines to Emirates. So normal airlines will just figure it out for you. There might be like a little bit of like a late fee or something, or a rebooking fee, but it would be like a couple hundred at best. But like Emirates was like, now you gotta rebook a whole new flight. And I was like, I can't afford 2 luxury flights. Let me tell you about Italy 2024. United, they're even not a good airline, right? United figured it out. Kira's also gone for 2 weeks on a well-deserved holiday. Yeah, I'm a little sad though, cause like I got presents for her and she's not here, and I'm like, where you at? But yeah, she hasn't visited since I came back from America with her ranch dressing, so she could just buy her own ranch dressing. So when we were in America, Stella and I, Kira Lily was watching. Kira Lily is a friend of mine. She's a VTuber. You should check her out. So she was watching our cat. So she was staying at our house and watching our cat for us. And she asked for A1 steak sauce and Hidden Valley ranch dressing from America. And so we got it for her. And then she was too busy to pick it up for like a month. And then she went to America. So she's in America right now. And I'm like, then you don't need it. You're there. But it's okay. It's okay. But yeah, so my advice to everybody is don't take luxury airlines because they have worse service. It's kind of like when you book like a nice hotel, like the Hilton or the Shinagawa Prince Hotel. The internet is not free, but if you book any crappy hotel in Japan, free internet, free bathrobe, free onsen. They're just like, yep, all the amenities. Anemones. Is that it? Sure. All of those free. But if you go to the Shinagawa Prince, they're like, no toothbrush for you. Also, that's another thing that really surprised me is I was staying at like legit 5-star hotel, right? On this like secret island. They didn't have a toothbrush. I was like, every hotel in Japan has a toothbrush, and luckily I have a travel toothbrush, so I brought one, but like, hey, no comb, no toothbrush, no sewing kit. I was like, what? They did have a bathrobe though, and they did have shampoo and conditioner and body soap, but I was like, whoa, the first hotel did not though. I was like, good thing I brought shampoo. I am so prepared for every flight. That's what gets me, is that I'm so prepared. I have like all the skincare. I have bath salts in case there's a bathtub. We took a bath, by the way. I had lavender and I was like, we need to relax. So I took bath salts. I have shampoo just in case there's no shampoo. I've got conditioner just in case there's no conditioner. I got hair oil in case my hair be frizzy. Like I do have a sewing kit in my suitcase. Like I am prepared. And then everything went wrong. And I was like, I could not have fixed this. But like my friend was like, oh, I've got cramps. And then my friend was like, oh, my tummy hurts. I got Tums. I got Tums with me. I got headache medication. I got motion sickness medication. I got everything you need. I'm a pharmacy. But I couldn't figure out my own problems. Yeah, I was like so prepared, and the universe was like, hold my bag. Anemones. Because there's like anemone. Oh no. There's the ocean one that Nemo lives in. You know, Finding Nemo. He lives in an anemone. Maybe. Yeah, that one. An anemone. Oh, that sounded right. And then there's amenities. Amenities. That sounds right. Amenities in the hotels. And then there's I think that's about it. Yeah. Yeah. Anemone. Anemone. Yeah, anemone. Who and amenities. And then amenity. Yeah. Enmity, yeah. Enmity I can kind of do. I think enmity is fine. What's ammonites? Oh, like the Pokemon? Like the Pokemon? But yeah, I'm like a walking, because I get upset tummy sometimes, so I always have Tums on me. Tums. And then I always get them when I'm back in America. I restock on Tums, because I'm like, I love fruit-flavored chalk. But yeah. Hold on. 2 tablespoons of salt. Hold on. At hotels for fish, they have amenities for manatees. Oh, try and say that 5 times fast. Oh no. Oh, that's great. Amenities for manatees. Okay. I also can't really say synonym, which is difficult for Cinedragon. Because I'm like, yay, it's synonym. So the thing about Cinema Roll is his name is Cinema Roll. It's not Cinnamon Roll. It's Cinema Roll with a M. But his nickname is Cinnamon, which I have to concentrate really hard to say. But I have to say cinnamon quite frequently in my life for reasons. So, it's always very complicated because nobody calls him Cinema Roll in the series. And so yeah, like I'm not used to hearing it's always really difficult. So I'm always like synonym, and they're like, you didn't say it. They're like, you gotta do it again. But it's okay. But it's very difficult because Stella's favorite breakfast food is a cinnamon roll, and it's just cinnamon roll is her favorite breakfast food. So on Stella's birthday, we always get cinnamon rolls. Whew. Oh, there's also like anonymous, anemone. Oh, it's so hard. So hard. Toy boat. Oh, I can't say toy boat. Oh no. Toy boat. Boom. Hello, Flamianico. I'm sorry. I cease to be able to read. Peter Piper picked a pack of Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers. Ooh. How much chuck would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? That's the one I'm good at. How much chuck would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? There's also sumomomo. Oh no, the Japanese ones. Also, other words I can't say. Phenomena. I think I got it. Phenomena. Also, oh, I don't know if I can get close enough for you to know what I'm talking about. Let me try. Fishy fish. Fishy fish. Hold on, let me try again. I think I got pretty close. Yeah, by the way, I'm a professional voice actor. Fishy fish. Stella! Can you say fishy fish for me? She can't hear me. She's away. It's, when you're being a fishy fish? Maybe. Facetious? Oh, maybe that one. Yeah. That looks right. Fishy fish. Not syphilis. Not that one. Yeah! That one. Fishy fish. Yeah, that one. I never have to say this word. I've had to read it once in a narration, and I was like, oh no, this is my kryptonite. I practiced a lot at home, though, and I was like, some say it's facetious to be meow, 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 meow. And I was like, oh, I did it. But I did it. If I had to do a second shot, I wouldn't have done it. I have to concentrate really hard, and then I can do it. Same with cinnamon. If I concentrate really hard, I can do it. So like, oh yes, I love cinnamon rolls, but I have to do like this whole thing. I can't just like la 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 do it. I have to be like cinnamon rolls. Cause like I think I need to catch the emphasis, and then I'm good. Whew. All right. Well, that sounds like a day. With that, I think I need to take a little nappy poo because let me take my temperature. Hold on. I'm like a little bit worried because like last time I took my temperature, it was 37.6. And if it's getting any higher, then I need to maybe go see a doctor because I got work tomorrow. Let's see. Hold on. I'm going to take my temperature. Hopefully it's gone down. Hopefully I got all of like the frustration out on stream and it's better. Whew. But yeah, so like I've got work Thursday and Friday, and I can't get people sick at my job. Oh no, it went up. Okay, bye. we're at 38. Alright, anyway. So, yeah, I'm hot. I'm a son. So, yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. I will see you guys again probably on Friday, unless I get really sick, and then I won't. But I do want to see you Friday anyway. So I will see you soon, and I love you guys so much. Thank you for joining me on my venti chat stream. Hopefully it was funny, more funny than it was angry. My hope is that it was funnier than it was angerful. But super appreciate all of your wonderful support, and also thank you for the pants fund. Now I can safely have pants. And yeah, thank you guys so much for all of your wonderful support all the time. I really appreciate it. Like, you guys have been the best. And I cannot wait until I see you guys Friday, and we can have lots of fun and sing some fun songs, and I'll see you for Lumin Palooza next week as well. Yay! Love you! Bye-bye! See you! Bye!